So I know I didn't tell anybody I was coming on live. Yeah, I only come on live when I have something to say, when I have the nudge to say something. So the topic I was talking about is when people lie against you. So I'm just gonna say a story, and whatever lessons you can pick from it, pick from it. I don't do lives. I don't come online except I have the push to do that. It might just be for one person. That's okay. So my name is Anna. I was going to talk about a story when people lie against you. I remembered when was it? Let me see. We were in junior high, like your fourth year of junior high, but in Nigeria, where I grew up in, it's called SS1. I think it was SS1. This incidents happened. So I used to attend my parents attended Deeper Life Bible Church. So we used to have this program every Thursday. Normally we have a Thursday Bible study, or Thursday revival hour. It used to be called. But then once in a month, all the parishes will come together and have this, was it Miracle Thursday? There was a name they called that Thursday, right? Would have this meeting together. So like now, what I call parishes in like in Denton, I live in Denton, Texas, right? Under Denton, there are towns like Denton, Louisville, Little Ham, Aubrey, Argyle, the Colony. Like those are other counties. Is what do you call them? Other towns under Denton. So like where I grew up to, I grew up in Ekpaja, Alimosha local government area in Lagos, right? So under Ekpaja, we had all these other towns too, like we call them Abeson Estates, you had Ipaja, you had Ikola, you had Command, you had Ayobo, you had all these other people. Those names I'm calling are like the towns we have in Denton, like we have Louisville and Little M and Aubrey and Argyle and the Colony, right? Like we have that under Denton. So once in a month they come together. So imagine those churches in those areas come together once a month to have a program, a miracle. It's always hot. Anyways, there's a lot of prayers, miracle prayers. I can't, I forgot it. So what happened was I used to have a lady in my class. I don't use, like in high school now, there are people you talk to, there are people you don't talk to, right? Everybody, sometimes you keep to yourself, sometimes there are people you move with. So the church used to have this retreats. They call them retreats. So Easter and December, Deeper Life Bible Church, that was the church I attended back in Nigeria. They used to have all these conferences. So at these conferences, people will come from everywhere. So we met either Easter or December. So that was where I saw this classmate of mine. Like, oh, you attend this church. So that was where we started talking. We never used to talk before. So I'm like, oh, you're my church, so you're my sister, that kind of a thing. So in one of those programs, people who know me back then will tell you, I love to read novels, romantic novels. I'm a romantic at that. I loved romantic novels from the Mills and Booms to Aliquin back then. Hearts was from Nigeria, Int was from Nigeria. Those were written in Nigeria, but Mills and Bone was from abroad. I don't know if it was from the US. I just know it was not our local writers in Nigeria who had those books. So I always love to read novels. And most of the time, around this time, when this meeting always starts around 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to 9:30, 10, or 6 p.m., 7 p.m. to around 10. Around those time, there will be no light. So I won't be able to, normally you either use a candle, your candlestick, or you use a kerosene lantern to read. Because except you are ready to run generator with before, and we don't run generator. So whenever there's church, so the church building it's inside, then there's a car park in the middle, then outside the gates. So outside the gate, we always have these floodlights, a lot of floodlights outside. So everybody can see, right? Because there's a lot of people coming from out of town. So everywhere, and mostly the seats will be filled up indoors. So outside, there will be overflow. People have to come outside, to sit down. You're supposed to be praying. You're supposed to listen to the Bible and the preaching and everything. But you know what people like me did with that my friend I was telling you about, and some other ladies from, she came from Abeson district. I was in Ekpaja district, like I told you, towns. She was like, let's say she was from Louisville and I'm from Denton. So I'm from Ikpaja, she's from Abeson. She joins from other people, but the lady I'm talking about is from Abeson district. So we go outside, we'll be talking. The main church is there, the car park, then outside, we're outside the gates. We'll just be gisting and gisting. I don't gist with them. What I do is, like I told you, there's no lights at home. So we rather just stay outside and read novels. Those novels I told you about. Put in mind, I'm supposed to be in church. This is church. You're supposed to be praying, but instead you're reading romance novels. If you grew up in Nigeria and you grew up in deeper life, you should know better. That is, if you are caught, you'll be beaten blue, like your parents will beat you. Like you, even your leaders will, you'll be in trouble in church, you'll be in trouble at home because they consider those kind of literature sin. And then I took it from home and I brought it to church to read because there is no lights. I was supposed to be praying. Instead, we're out there gisting with friends. So on a day like that, they were talking about a guy. That guy was close, was one of my brother's friends. Was close. He used to come to our house. So they were talking about that guy. I heard them, but like I told you, I was reading my novel. But you wouldn't know what happened. That night we finished, everybody went home. Sometimes some people don't stay. They don't stay to gossip. They don't, like they were talking and gisting. Some people will even go into town. You know, we already know when the program is supposed to end, so they will come back. I never went to them because I know if somebody catch me, I'll be dead at home. So I don't used to go with them for those expeditions. But some of them used to go out. They will go explore the town, you know, buy food, whatever. Then towards the time church was supposed to end, they will come, like they will come back and we'll all go home with our parents like we had been in church all day. I was out all day reading a novel. So this particular day, they've been talking about this guy I said was my brother's friend. I didn't even pay attention to it. Weeks later, I can't remember if I had seen him somewhere and it was so cold and I didn't know why it was cold. Maybe I had been thinking about it, like, what's wrong? One day, one sister called me. That sister was my teacher's daughter. My teacher in secondary school, her daughter, because I used to go to my teacher's house to help out sometimes. So I kind of got close to her daughter. So I don't even know how he knew I was close to that lady. He told that lady, she's way older than me. He told her some things. Then she called me, I want to speak with you. This guy that I told you was my brother's friend. He used to come to our house. He did not tell my brothers, he didn't tell me. He said he told this sister to tell me that if he had a gun, he would kill me. This was, let me see. This is like over 17, 18 years ago, what I'm talking about, 18, 19 years ago. He told that sister if he had a gun, he would kill me. That I said they told, I don't know, those ladies went to their own district. Like I told you, these are different towns. They went back to their district and they said I was the only different person among them. They all came from Abeson. I was from Ipaja. I was the only different person in their midst. They said, Anna said, and this is so funny. You know why? And I don't know why he didn't even think about it. I'm not in your district, so I won't know what's happening in your district. I don't live in your area. I live in a different area from you. And sometimes our school, we attended a public school where he was in a private school. They used to come to play football tournaments. They used to use our schools. So that was the only one time I ever saw him in school uniform. The one time I ever saw him. And he didn't talk to me. I didn't talk to him because there was always this beef within public and private school. People from private school always felt they were richer. They looked down on the people from public school who were poor. And there was always this beef. Public school guys always dated ladies from the private school. Private school people too, they do that. But somehow there's always this beef, like you're rich. Even if you had friends you grew up with, if because of that, some of them, if they attend public or private, you might stop being friends because of that, class, like you're rich, you're poor. So that kind of a thing. So he didn't even think that, how would I have even known what you guys were talking about? I'm not in your district. I don't live in your area. I don't know nothing except that one time when their school came from another town to come play in my school. So this guy said, they said, maybe it was something about him dating somebody, blah, blah. And if you know deeper life, like I told you, I was a deeper lifer. Deeper life, your parents, Africans in Nigeria, the way it works, they don't want to hear you have a relationship. They don't want to hear you dating nobody. Okay. But they expect when you're done with your school, you graduate, then you finish your service, Then they'll be asking you, where's your husband? You told us not to date, but suddenly they want you to have a husband. You can imagine that. So in that church too, they considered people dating. If you're not dating to get married, then that means you must be outside. You must have graduated to start talking about dating or getting married, So you, even in church, them hearing that you're dating somebody, you're dead already before you now talk about home. And for this guy, I don't know, maybe his mom was late or something. For some reason, his mom was not there. His dad had remarried. So this was his stepmom. So, and we know the way they always talk about stepmom and stepkids. So it was like, even your parents could correct you, but because they are your parents, you might not take it hard. But when somebody who's not your parents, you might feel they are being more harsher. So it was like they said they were not going to send him to school again. Imagine he was attending a private school. They would send him to a public school, blah, blah, blah. There was somebody, they beat him. He got into trouble at home because of what those girls said. And when they asked them, they had claimed Anna was the one who said it. Oh my God. So she told me, like, this guy has been going through a lot at home. His father did not want to hear, the way we were brought up, they don't want to hear you're dating anybody. Everybody's afraid you don't get someone pregnant when we are still feeding you. But when I heard that stuff he said about him shooting me, I don't know, I became so scared. And after that incident, he never came to our place again. He never visited. I can't remember if I saw him after those times, but you see, he just avoided me. And years later, maybe it was like 10 years or some years back, I just saw a Facebook request. I saw a Facebook request from him and I refused. I didn't accept it. It was not because I was angry. There's this way we do some things where something happens and you lock up that issue, you lock up that event. If it's traumatic to you, you lock it up and you just keep it somewhere. You just throw it away. And maybe something will happen to trigger it again before you remember even something like that happened. Then so I never accepted his friend request. I never spoke to him after that. It's not like I didn't forgive him. It just opened all this pain. And my thing was, so I had to go look for this girl that I told you I knew in my class. Even around that time, she had stopped coming to school. I don't even know what was happening. She was saying she wanted to go to a private school. Blah, blah, blah. I guess it was all a lie, but she stopped coming. I don't even know why. I don't know why she stopped coming to school. So I went to her house like 2-3 times to go look for her. Like, can you help me clear my name? She and the other 2 other ladies they were talking about. Because those ones are not my friends. Those ones are our friends. I only knew them too. Like, can you just clear my name? I couldn't get it cleared out, And it stayed for me with it for years. Because people who met me much later, they'll be like, you would never visit people. I've been here for over 9 years. I moved from Nigeria to this place. I've been here over 9 years. I don't visit people in their homes. The only time I'll visit, if my husband is with me, yeah, we come together and we live together. Before somebody will say, I said what I did not say. You understand? I was so traumatized by that thing that for months I would just cry. Like, why would you lie against me? What's the point? You know what you just told me? It was just simple. They say when evil communication, it does what? In 1 Corinthians 15:33-44, it says, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have the knowledge of God. Remember, these are all church girls. We are all church girls. Say, I speak this to your shame, but some man will say, how are the dead raised up and with what body do they come? That's just going deeper. But the part I wanted to work with was, be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. I know the manner was stay inside church and listen to the scriptures, but instead I stood outside to read novel. And they say the children of the dark are always wiser than children of light. I don't know, maybe they look at everything. This is the only person who is not here. Let us just point on the person's head, and put me in a situation where this guy stopped coming to our place and I couldn't talk. And for years, I was hurt by it. Like, up to now, like, if I'm not there with my husband, I'm not visiting you. It's only in mistakes. Maybe something might be happening. Maybe you're sick and my husband can't go with me and I had to just be there. I hardly go to anybody's house by myself and I don't visit. I only visit maybe there's a party, there's something happening. Something has to be happening for me to come to your house. I had trust issues from that time onward. I just couldn't trust people. I just couldn't open myself up to people, you get, because of that issue. And truly, Whose fault is it? It's me. When people are gossipers, even now as an adult, there are times you've met people who like to gossip a lot. You might not contribute, but you keep quiet and you listen and you just keep quiet. But you know what? The fact that you're even listening, you're already a part. It's always interesting when you hear people talk about other people, but when it becomes your own topic, it will hurt you. Okay. In this season, I've had to cut some people off, because I kind of discovered they like to. I didn't say nothing. I just stopped the extra things I always do. I just pulled myself back from it because I'm like, why would somebody who wasn't part of your discussion, why would you lie against them? But because you were there, it made you an accomplice. You were there. It made you an accomplice at that point in time. And for me, it took years. Like even it's still taking years. And right now I've decided I took my own time right now. I cut off some people. You like gossiping, you always I'm cutting you off. I don't care. In Proverbs 20:19, even the Bible already puts there. Evil goes about as a slanderer. They reveal secrets. That's what they do. Therefore, do not, is my Bible, I'm reading from the Bible, Proverbs 20:19. He said, he who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with a gossip. Proverbs 25:9-10, Proverbs 29, it says, don't reveal the secrets of another, lest he who hears it reproach you, and the evil reports about you not pass away. But if you gossip, don't think about it. You're bringing somebody else's, that's somebody's secrets they're bringing to you. They're going to take yours to somebody else. And it's crazy when people are in the house of God. You think they should. This issue I'm talking about happen in church. These issues I'm talking about, it's happening in church. People will come and just want to sit down and gossip about people. Jesus. And you wonder why your prayers are not being answered. There's nobody without, everybody has challenge. The one, I always say to myself, the one on my head, I'm still praying God to help me. I cannot add more. Because it's already in the Bible. Do not associate with a gossip. And when you're in a situation where God is cutting you off from people, you associate with them. It was one thing I noticed, even though I did not, as an adult, when I didn't even get involved and I was just listening. And so even me spiritually, I will feel low. It's as if they drained the whole energy, the whole battery. My whole battery is drained out. Some people need to be with people because you think you cannot be alone. You can be alone. You don't die. Find your tribe. If you're not part of their tribe, don't be in their tribe. If one person can be your tribe, you don't have to be friends with too many people, especially when you know they are these people. They can be in church, they can be speaking in tongues, they can be acting fire, they can be anything. But a gossip is a gossip, whether in church or outside church. One day, one day, they will put you under the bus. That's just what the Bible says. When they carry secrets, people will carry. Proverbs 14:5 says, an honest witness does not deceive, but a false witness, what do? They pour out lies. It's just lies. And most time people will bring gossip. I think I've done a short about that. When people bring stuff to you, especially people they've been cool with, they won't tell you when you were cool, when the going was good. But when things go bad, they want other people to hate you because they don't like you. And that's why I always say, don't carry people's fight on your head. You know, sometimes when people bring other people's story to you, it's because they're no longer cool with them, and then they want you to join in fighting them. What did your Bible says? My son, if sinners, even though they call themselves children of Christ, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. In Proverbs 1:10, my son, if sinners entice thee, do not consent. It doesn't matter. Being alone is a good thing. I'm telling you, there are things you will not hear until you cut off from some people. There are things you will not see until you let some people go. You keep holding them. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. Did you come to the world with them? Even twins, if they live their life. Okay. You need to, your relationship with God is what matters. Even in this end time, the devil, Christians might say, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do this. But you see, this gossip of a thing we're talking about is what will send a lot of people to hell. Because most time when you're talking, you say, you've killed a lot of people with your mouth, even though you did not carry gun, because you lied against them, said things they did not do, got people to hate on them. And then you still want to go pray to God. Is that person, the person does not have his creator, the person is not a child of God. Person is a child of God, you think God is sleeping. So even if you're not the one doing the gossiping, that you listen to it. My own is, if you want to settle matter, bring matter. Bring the other person, let us settle. Don't come and tell me stories so that you want me to. If you think I will join you, I'm not joining to fight anybody. I don't have time. Eh? In this life, I want to make heaven. Now, I can't deny myself of too many things and then go to hell because of some squabbles that does not even make sense. It says the righteous. That's even where you even know your work with God is when you start enjoying things like that. Proverbs 13:5 says, the righteous hate what is false, but the wicked make themselves a stench and bring shame on themselves. A lie can go, it can go for years. The Lord, even the Lord himself, what did he say? Proverbs 12:22, the Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. If your tribe is one person who is trustworthy, keep with them. And everybody does not behave like me. Me, I love to be I'm an indoor person. I'm not an outdoor person. You would drive only Christian concerts and stuff like that make me go out. If not, I'll just stay in my house. I don't like going out. I'd rather stay indoors and be creative. And for creatives, really, you don't really like to be outside. Creatives tend to just stay by themselves. That's just it. Do not, Leviticus 19:11. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, I don't do lives. That's why I don't announce it. I just come, I'll leave it. If it's one person that God needs to see it, that's one person that will hear it. You can't deceive other people about others and think it will not come back to you. It might take years. It might take years. Don't hurt people by saying things you don't know. Don't join other people to fight people. Don't fight battles you don't know nothing about. They were once cool, okay? They were when the going was good. You were not in the mix. When the going is bad, that's when they want other people to hate on you. Stop. Stop. If your tribe is one person, stick with one person. Let me tell you. Your mental health will thank you for it. There's just some dramas I don't want around me. I can't deal. I can't deal. I have too many things going in my head. I can't deal. We should be worried about the time we are in. We don't want to miss heaven. We don't want to, after we've denied ourselves of so many things. He said, watch for little foxes. You might not be fighting, but you see all these small, will scatter things. People have scattered churches, scattered relationships, scattered people for saying things that are not real. Lying is an issue for many people, including Christians. It can be tempting to lie when you think it will benefit you, right? But we must remember that sin, it will always ultimately have a negative effect on our lives. We will never get away with attempting to deceive others, as God remembers. Even if everybody forgets, God remembers. Thank you. I don't know why I said what I said. Like I said, I just had the English to just go like, I say Makaya music, my big sister for life. My sweet sis, thank you. I'll visit you. You invite me. Auntie making me laugh, of course. I know my tribe and I visit them. Definitely I'll visit you. Thank you, sis, for always. I love you. God bless us all. Bye-bye. Yeah, my sister. Okay, it's not big sister, my sister. My sister. Okay, my sister. I always forget. But you're my big sister in music. Yeah, you still big sister in music. I love you. I love you. Thanks for everything. Thanks for always being there. Thanks for pushing us. God bless you. See you.